Welcome to the 2025 World Championships, and tonight is going to be the debut of a brand new format, the Elite 15 Pro Doubles, where 15 pairs are going to redline for approximately 50 minutes of all-out racing action. So strap yourselves in, because we're going to look back on one of the biggest races of the year so far.
It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, it's going to be wild. And we're heading into the final 3 seconds before the race. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race start for our Hyrox Women's Doubles World Championship. Megan, be honest. How much do you like standing here right now instead of being down there on the track?
Well, thankfully I'm with 2 really great men here in the commentating booth, so that eases the pain a little bit. But yeah, it's been a tough weekend. Women's Pro Elite was particularly tricky, but honestly, I was crying watching Linda finish the wall balls and take the win. Honestly, so happy for her. One of the coolest things, though, Till, about this race is how many new faces in this women's race we are seeing. The men's race has a lot more of like the elite athletes or mixed doubles guys that have won last year, but this women's race really has so many new faces that I think is really exciting to see them lining up with a lot of these other elite women. The current world champion, 2-time world champion Lauren Weeks. That's not an easy task.
And look at the time they're coming into the rock zone now. So that is 4 minutes and 5 seconds when they entered the rock zone. The men yesterday in the relay opened up at a mere 15 seconds faster. In the relay, this is how fast these women are going out right now.
Yeah, just for reference as well, on Thursday evening, Lauren Weeks done that first run in 4:19, so they've gone out 14 seconds quicker than Lauren did on Thursday.
And this is the difference between solo racing and doubles, people.
Something that really worries me every single time now is that brief moment of Viola looking around like she didn't know what was going on. We've seen that in the relay yesterday. I hope she's familiarized herself with what's going on today.
She's got the world champion taking her around, guiding her around this evening.
And it's an interesting one that you mentioned it. I think it is something that's been really important for Viola throughout the season. Racing with Linda Meyer gives her confidence. Linda Meyer kind of like calms her down. And when she's racing with Linda, she seems to be more on point than when not.
Absolutely. Viola's had a really tough season racing individually this year. She was sick for a really long time on and off. And obviously didn't make it to the Elite 15 Women's Pro race. So this was her chance, and I think she's had a really good prep the last few weeks and the last 2 months. So hopefully we'll see that from her tonight, because Viola, when she's on point, she is quite dangerous. I mean, finishing 5th last year after a crazy wall ball scenario at the World Championships, she's definitely held her own in these elite races. So hopefully she's ready to go. I know she had some tough travel getting over here, had a flight cancellation, and I think it had to move to the next day. So we'll see how that ends up playing out for her, because as we all know, jet lag can be a thing. This isn't the easiest trip for the Europeans, not the hardest maybe, so we'll see how that ends up playing out tonight. The more changes you make, the better and faster you have to be on those transitions, because it's adding more of them. So that could work well because it saves them energy, but it might work against them if they're fumbling with it a little bit.
They are slightly different athletes as well, so, and they'll obviously understand each other inside out. But I think Margot's got a little bit more of a CrossFit background, whereas Charlotte's a little bit more of a pure runner. So understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses probably plays into that changeover strategy.
And that's exactly what the top teams all have in common. They understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, like Viola Oberländer and Linda Meyer first out of this ski with the double Lauren Weeks, Lauren Griffith. We've got Lucy Procter Bent right there with them as well. The race is definitely on. I mean, this was a brutally fast opening kilometer and then ski and I dare say, you can tell me if you disagree, Megan, but we're seeing tonight's winner within the 5 teams we've seen come out of the ski first.
Yeah, and so it looks like Linda's really riding that high. She is ready to be in the lead and commanding from the front.
Linda Meyer was racing with our on-site announcer Faisal in Berlin. She would push the run, go ahead, breathe, start the workout, then Pfizer would do the middle part, and then Linda would finish the workout and again push on the run. And it might be something similar that we're going to see between the two of them here.
So with Viola dropping back a little, that gap has definitely shortened. So now we've got the top 3 teams coming into the push essentially together. So this could be a spot where somebody takes over. Well, that might not have been the best strategy from Linda, giving Viola the first push.
That's an interesting one.
She was struggling a little bit on the run.
Well, then again, you know, Viola often has a very strong first lane on her, but look at Sinead again. Look at how she is moving that sled, and how many times have we seen the sled push and the sled pull make or break a team.
So many times. And Lauren Weeks did that first whole lane unbroken. So, and now Lauren Griffith is doing the second lane unbroken, but she has now surpassed Sinead. So again, it's so interesting to watch these athletes and the strategy that they end up doing and how it ends up playing out. And it's just going to continue to be a back and forth.
What remains to be seen as well is doing a length unbroken. Like, what does that cost you on the next run?
Absolutely,
you know, like
that is
Linda
definitely
and Viola
the question.
might be splitting it up, and they might benefit from that in the upcoming run.
That is something I really enjoyed about Linda's race on Thursday evening, is especially in the burpees, when Joanna went really hard and started like pulling away from her. She kept her pace, she kept her cool, and by the end of the burpees, she was past Joanna again.
And now we have a new team taking the lead, and they are definitely creating a gap. Lauren and Lauren are out.
And I mean, that is a proper gap they're opening on Linda Meyer and Viola Oberländer now.
More than half a lane.
And they're actually even going to drop back into 6th. So we got the Van der Lindelof sisters gone past Team Germany as well. And these are our leaders here. Sinead Bent, Lucy Procter in the background. You're seeing Lauren Griffith and Lauren Weeks coming through. And there's one pair in between them right now.
That's Nicola Georgia Macbeth and Gabrielle Nicora Baker. They both won the qualifier in Melbourne. That's the first qualifier of the season, so they were essentially the first to qualify for this race.
They are in between, but a lap behind.
Yes.
So first, Sinead Bent, then Lucy Procter, then Lauren Weeks and Lauren Griffith. And what a run by the two again. Megan, I mean, looking at Lucy Procter, so composed, so calm. That's been a fantastic run.
Absolutely. She's definitely really stepped up her game this year. She was the age group champion last year, and now she came in 5th place in the Elite 15. So quite a phenomenal year for Lucy Procter as a young athlete in the sport.
Absolutely. But you know, she's also one of those athletes who is like investing into the success, investing into the sport. She's happy to leave home. She spent weeks on weeks in Austria at the Red Bull Performance Center, training and everything. And that's what you got to do. The sport's become so professional. You athletes have become so strong. If you want to make it, there are sacrifices.
Definitely, and that is part of what I think we are beginning to see is athletes starting to get more opportunities to become professional, which then just gives them a massive advantage regarding their training, not having to worry about working so much, getting more support from sponsors. It's been a massive contribution to my success, so we're definitely seeing that now trickling down into the whole field, which is really amazing to see for the sport in general.
And a yellow card, a warning for Lauren Griffith, if I've seen that correctly. Hard to say, the judge is kind of standing in the middle. Was that for Lauren Griffith or was that for Sinead Bent? One of them, there we go. Lauren Weeks, Lauren Griffith. I guess that was overstepping.
Assuming so.
How does that impact your race?
Oh, massively. If you get one warning, it's kind of in the back of your mind because, again, the penalty for sled pull is really unkind. So you do not want to end up with a penalty on the sled pull. So you're definitely then watching your steps. You're not utilizing the entire box as well.
I think I maybe just saw a red card as well for Gabrielle Nicora Baker as well, the winners from Melbourne. I think that was maybe a red card, so I think they might have a 5-meter penalty to do once they
Sinead and Lucy are out.
Sinead out with Lucy, and here go Lauren and Lauren. Team Belgium still crawling back a little bit of time here, or distance from the Germans, but two women on a mission right now from Great Britain. We've got Lucy Procter, Sinead Bent in the lead. The gap after the last workout was 5 seconds. Let's see what the standards are coming out of the sled pull. Here we go, Linda Meyer and Viola Oberländer in third. So Lauren Griffith, Lauren Weeks now 11 seconds behind. That is still not a huge gap.
Not a huge gap, definitely a lot of time to crawl that back. I think this station in particular is one where just 1/4 of a lane can be a lot of seconds of time. Optically, it doesn't look as drastic, but it really takes time on this station.
You asked me a moment ago, Till, if Sinead and Lucy had any weaknesses. I was looking at their race from London, and they finished second on the sled push, second on the sled pull in London, but 13th on the burpee broad jump. So this next station is maybe an important one for them.
But again, as Greg said, it will be interesting to see how the burpee broad jumps go, because this is a particularly good station for Lauren Weeks.
Yes.
We saw her the other night crawl back so much time on the burpee broad jumps. So this could be a game-changer station for them right here.
And I think that's where we're going to see some team tactics as well, but fairly jokingly, but maybe also not. I was talking to Kate Davey at Sarah Pridjani, and Kate was saying, I'm happy to take the burpees, but after Sarah Pridjani yesterday, the wall ball's unbroken in 3 minutes 10, she was like, I got no ego. You go do them. I'll cheer you on. No trouble.
Again, and that's when it comes to the switches. Sinead and Lucy also lost a lot of time on the wall balls because they had a lot of switching back and forth. So if you've got a partner that can go unbroken in 3:10, you let them send it.
Interesting to see now as they're coming in, Lauren Weeks and Lauren Griffith definitely managed to close that gap quite importantly. I mean, it was 11 seconds, so that was a huge move from the two of them coming into the burpees, and then that's sending a message, Megan. Like with you said, Lauren Weeks, super strong burpees, and running up to them beforehand. Fair to say, we expect to see a change in lead coming up.
I think we definitely might. Again, I said it in the pre-race interview, Lauren Weeks can put herself in a very uncomfortable position and maintain it for a very long time. So definitely not somebody to doubt, and like we said, this is one of her favorite and best stations. So I think she'll probably end up taking up the bulk of the work here from an advantage standpoint. And it looks like they're even crawling back more and more time here.
Interestingly enough, we know Kate Davey loves the burpees. We know Lauren Weeks can really hurt herself. But the fastest qualifying time, the burpees, was the Van der Lindenlof sisters. So we'll see if they can make a move here as well.
The one thing I'll say about that, though, is they have not raced running against these women. These elite women, especially these four in the front, are phenomenal runners. So again, it's very different racing against them, getting pulled out on that first run, second run with them, and how that plays a role into what is going on.
And we're seeing a yellow card for Viola Oberländer and Linda Meyer. Yellow card there. They also got my favorite judge. She's the one who's like, she's like real trigger happy. She's like, once the yellow card is out, she's like the right hand is always on the red card. She's ready to pull it when needed. But that is early in. That's into the second lane of burpees that Viola Oberländer gets a yellow card here. So they got to be careful now.
The temptation is there to just push those standards a little bit, and yeah, as soon as you get a yellow card.
And by the way, we're
going on with Lauren and Lauren's judge.
Absolutely proven wrong here. Incredible burpees from Sinead Bent and Lucy Procter. They're out already. They extended their lead on Lauren and Lauren enormously, but you were just looking at Lauren and Lauren.
Yeah, it looked like they had a couple of judges around them, which definitely can impact how you're performing when you have three hawks on you like that. I know that from personal experience. So I'm wondering if there was some type of issue and it needed to be discussed. Looks like it might have impacted them slightly. But yeah, Sinead and Lucy really pulled away here.
One thing I could definitely tell you, the 2025 Hyrox World Championship would not be, you would not have a race without some drama.
Of course not.
It's delivered in every single race, and
Yes,
I have no doubt we're starting with a little bit of drama in the women, but I tell you, there will be drama in the men's race later on. They've been the bigger drama queens this weekend.
I was kind of wishing I would get to commentate on that one with you guys, if I'm being honest with you. Lots of juicy things happening on the men's field tonight.
That's going to be a fantastic one for sure. no doubt. But look at this race here. Lucy Procter, Sinead Bent. I mean, it was 4 seconds going into the burpees, and they made a huge move. We're going to get the splits very soon on what the gaps are right now, as we're seeing Sarah Bajani and Kate Davey now going out as well. We're going to take another look at that yellow card from Viola Oberländer. I think we got a replay here to see what happened. Here we go. Megan, what are you seeing?
It looks like her feet came, uneven and just slightly past where her fingers were. So it looks like that was good. That was the yellow card. So Lucy's probably feeling a little bit better and might end up carrying the team a little bit more in the second half. Looks like she's feeling pretty strong. In London, Sinead was definitely the leader on the run. So this is a little bit different than what they did in their qualifier race.
Lucy's looking very relaxed in the truck there.
Very, very calm.
Quick drink for Sinead, and in they go for the next workout. Lucy looking around, making sure Sinead is there. There's no real reason, though, to slow down there, right? You might just as well run through to the row and chill and grill a little bit there.
Like I said, Sinead might be feeling the residual effects of those 2 nights of racing, but she does start and finish the row for them. So it looks like Lucy was kind of waiting up and saying, hey, you're up. Let's go.
That's what I love about teammates in racing. I know that feeling so well when you point out that you're suffering real hard. The response mostly is like, great, acknowledged, but I'm not going to change a thing.
Yes.
All right, Lauren Griffith, Lauren Weeks, they are the ones hunted right now. And dare I say, with you out of the race, everybody has seen Lauren Weeks as the #1 favorite for this World Championship. It did not work out in the singles in the Elite 15. If it doesn't work out today to take the world title, is it surprising?
A little bit, yes, and I'm really feeling for her because of what happened with the U.S. relay. So then that's another, win that then got rescinded. So it's a tough day, tough few days, but Lauren Weeks is one of the most humble people, and she just takes her lumps, accepts them, and gives tons of credit where it's due. So I would not be surprised to see the same thing out of her tonight, but I can definitely tell by the way she's pulling on that row that she is not letting it go easily. That is for sure.
Here we go with the Van der Lindeloof sisters. Currently in 6th, they're making their move now on the 5th team, trying to move up a little bit through the ranks. But in all fairness, I mean, the dark horses, Greg, and I think even if they come in 4th or 5th, it's not a disappointment for them.
No, not at all. This is like their first elite race, if you like. Obviously, this is the first elite doubles that we've seen, but we've not seen those 2 in the elite singles. And I think 4th or 5th position for them, I think they'll be very happy with that. I mean, they certainly focus on the doubles. They think about the tactics a lot. They raced in Paris and they raced in London, so they've been focused on this for a long time. But I think 4th or 5th for them is a good result.
And our leaders are back out, so after workout number 5, Lucy Procter, Sinead Bent still in the lead. They've got a lead of about 130 meters on the row on Lauren Griffith and Lauren Weeks, and then Team Germany with Viola Oberländer and Linda Meyer another 110 meters behind. They themselves are staying fairly clear right now of Sarah Bajani and Kate Davey, as well as Jess Petro and Maria Fishik. But if you look at that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, there could still be a lot of movement.
Most definitely, and these next couple runs are definitely going to make a big impact. It's who's going to utilize those runs really well, try to gain some time there. The stations are so even across the board. Everybody's times are so similar in the stations that you really have to utilize the running a lot if you want to gain ground on any other team.
So now 3rd team, Linda Meyer, Viola Oberländer are out of the workout as well, headed onto the run. Kate Davey, Sarah Bajani still about 70 meters left inside. You see how far they are into that row.
You're only as fast as your slowest runner as well. So thinking about the runs in this latter stage of the race, like the tactics and how much work you give each member on the stations, so that you're not slowing their running down too much. That's an important consideration here. Like talking to each other and saying how you feel.
And you can go in with a plan, and if one person feels a little bit off, then you might have to change the whole thing. So again, the communication pieces can be extremely important.
What's happening with you if you're in third and you're realizing, hold on, we just made up almost 20 seconds?
Oh, I think the fire gets lit even more. It's way more fun sometimes being the chaser than the one being chased, because that's a scary spot to be in, and it's a lot more exciting to be the one hunting somebody than being hunted. So if I were Lucy and Sinead, I would want to be getting the biggest gap possible, again, going into the wall balls, because we've got Lauren Weeks coming close behind. We know Linda can do them 100 unbroken quite fast. So that is definitely a strong station for both of those chase teams.
And here we go into the farmer's carry, and boy, have we seen drama in the last 2 races at this farmer's carry here. We've seen athletes run into the wrong direction. We've seen Viola Oberländer tip over the kettlebells and being called back and everything. And we're going to see one of the most interesting things in just a moment when Lucy Procter is handing the kettlebells to Sinead Bent, who then is going into a full-blown sprint from our technical, from Matt. What was that about?
I'm not exactly sure, but we are seeing Sinead do the Sinead thing right now, which is sprinting with the kettlebell.
I don't know if you hear the atmo, if you hear the arena right now, everybody is going absolutely mad right now.
It is quite impressive, and again, in doubles, this is perfect. In a solo, she doesn't really gain much time doing this because she ends up having to drop them so many times. So I'm wondering if she does run with it because the grip strength is an issue for her. But it worked phenomenally well in this doubles tonight.
I mean, this is one of the best things I've seen the entire weekend, I gotta say. This was so cool, and to see the crowds respond to it. What we've just seen the Brits would say, are you having a donkey? I mean, absolutely wild.
Sinead's managed to bring atmosphere and excitement to the farmer's carry. It's not an easy thing to do.
And we've got Lauren and Lauren out. Again, there's still a major threat. They're only 19 seconds back. They can definitely crawl their way back, especially if they really can run after those lunges in particular.
The other area that Sinead and Lucy didn't do so well in London was on the sandbag lunges. They finished 13th there that day as well. So again, if there is a weakness, this next station could be it.
But the problem is, they seem to have forgotten what their weakness is. Because they definitely have forgotten it at the burpees. They weren't aware of the fact.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So unless you're going down there reminding them, they might just as well have a fantastic sandbag lunge round here.
That could be that confidence from that Elite 15 solo race coming into play well for them tonight.
Oh, absolutely. But then again, if you look at it, I mean, like, this is the gap coming into the farmer's carry. In a little moment, we're going to see what the gap is going out. It's definitely ground a little bit after what Sinead Bent's just done there. But it's still probably somewhere within 30 seconds. And you're being hunted by Lauren Griffith and Lauren Weeks. And if there's one duel I don't want to have with Lauren Weeks, it's wall balls.
100%.
It starts to feel like the end really is in sight after the farmer's carry as well. And especially in the doubles, the wall balls is less of a... It feels less taxing, doesn't it? If you can split it with a partner, it's a totally different kettle of fish to the singles race.
Well, here we go. Greg, this is your last opportunity of the day to be right about Sinead Bent and Lucy Procter. You said if you had to dig deep and find one, the lunges might just be a little bit of a weak station for them, but let's see how they're going today. And I mean, when we're saying weak, we're complaining on a very high level here.
We're saying that very lightly.
Lauren Weeks, Lauren Griffith coming in behind. Let's see what the gap is coming into the sandbag lunges. And no matter where we're standing right now, we talked about Lauren Weeks' ability at the wall balls. But there's only so much damage she can do they got 20 seconds. Everything is possible, but they got to find some magic in those sandbag lunges now.
Definitely. This was a station that I think we saw Lauren struggle with a little bit more than normal the other evening. But she seems to be moving quite well now. So we'll see what Lauren Griffith can do here to help her out.
You got Linda Viola Oberländer still in 3rd place, considering how they're doing at the sandbag lunges and at the wall balls. I don't think they still have a shot at the win. It will be very hard for 2nd, but they seem to be in a very safe 3rd spot right now, because we all know Linda Meyer, again, one of the very strong athletes at the wall balls.
Definitely. It looks like Lucy and Sinead have a little over 2 full lanes already done, so it's pretty safe to say that 3rd doesn't have room to gain.
But it looks like the yellow card is coming out. Yes, here we go, yellow card, oh boy. So good that they're halfway through it already. The only explanation I have is not a full extension. Driver Sinead Bent there.
I believe they took their foot off the pedal on the rower before they'd hit the 1,000 metres, so there's a 10-second penalty. So they came into these lunges 20 seconds ahead, but I think there's a 10-second penalty applied. I think we're going to get a replay of that coming up shortly.
Did somebody just say drama? Did I hear the word drama?
That could end up being a game changer because, again, we've already said Lauren Weeks is an absolute threat on the wall balls to them. So 10 seconds is not something you want to give to the team right behind you.
But the big question now is, do Lauren and Lauren know? Now that is the question. If they're aware of that, that is going to light a fire.
Well, if I know Lauren Weeks' husband, they will know.
They will know. He's got sources.
So Sinead and Lucy are out of the sandbag lunges now.
And they will be absolutely flying through that run now. They will push it as hard as they can, well knowing about the penalty they have. But
they did have a full length on the Laurens, so that's quite considerable from a time standpoint.
They most certainly gained those 10 seconds on top of the 20 they already had here. The gap, I'm sure, will be at least half a minute, if not more. And here we go, Lauren Griffith, Lauren Weeks out. Can they find some magic or not? We've gone through 7 of 8 stations with our leaders here at the very first ever Hyrox Doubles World Championship.
Really happy to see Lauren Griffith doing well tonight because she had a really hard race the other evening, but she looks quite well here tonight. So it's great to see her having a good performance. It was a struggle for her in the solo race this year and last World Championships, and that's a tough feeling, especially because she had a really great first half of the season. So great to see her doing really well in this race this evening.
Oh, that is the penalty at the row. All right, let's see what's happening here. Megan, this is all you.
So she didn't have both feet in the straps before she grabbed the handle. That's a tough one. It's so easy to do that.
Again, you know, it happens in race mode. It's easy to judge from the outside, but rules are rules. It's a 10-second penalty, but they are doing what they need to do to be able to afford that 10-second penalty. You know, Lauren and Lauren, that is some insane Hyrox firepower. But 22 seconds between that run and the wall balls, can they do it or not?
I do not doubt Lauren Weeks ever. And I would say that Sinead and Lucy are really going to have to go into that low 3-minute range for the wall balls, or they are going to struggle here. Not a great start. That was 4 no reps.
Now that is something you cannot afford against Lauren Weeks because she's not just fast, but she is clean.
Yes, absolutely, and that's a big part of the new counters is accuracy. You have to be incredibly accurate, hitting the ball exactly in the middle to get a rep to count. It's much more difficult than it has been in the past before we had these electric counters, so you really have to be precise.
Oh, it's a lot of no reps for Sinead here.
This is definitely going to be costly.
That can be very costly.
Especially with the 10 seconds in addition to that.
10 seconds. I'm not, if it's not obvious, I'm not going to call it when they cross the finish line here. We're definitely seeing some drama in the women's race. There is no doubt. Oh, and how often have we seen her call it back? But they are halfway through, Sinead Bent and Lucy Procter. And you said that we've seen Lucy do that unbroken as well. She's definitely going to push through those 50 now. And if she keeps it, and look at how cool and calm she stays. But the gap now down from 17 to 13. Do you think Laura Weeks is going to go for it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 9 reps.
16 reps
really
total.
no reps now.
For Lucy.
She needs to keep them clean now. We're down to 8 reps, which means net we're down to about 5 reps with 15 to go, and she lost so many just now. She needs to another rep. This is gonna be a sprint down to the finish line for the seconds. She needs to keep them clean now. She cannot afford, she is looking good now. I think it might just work out for the two of them. Once again, I did not need my heart rate that high up. Lucy Procter, here they go, Lucy Procter, Sinead Bent. But you see, for them, they are aware. They need to wait out the time, but this is enough.
And I think they're going to have it.
It's got to be more than 10 seconds for Lauren and Lauren. Here they go. Lauren Weeks going unbroken. It is going to be more than 10 seconds. But even our man Faisal down on the ground is still uncertain what it is. We know Viola Overlander, Linda Meyer, they're going to come in 3rd. They're almost through the wall balls now. Another medal for Linda Meyer, who's cheering on Viola Overlander right now. And there's the congratulations from Lauren Weeks for Sinead Bent and Lucy Procter at the bottom right-hand corner. And it is, we knew they were strong, but it's got a little bit...
Go Viola! Why does it always happen to her?
You see, that is the question I ask myself. How is it?
It's been a big old weekend of racing, but we have had some breaking news that Hyrox officials have come to the conclusion that, in fact, Lucy and Sinead are going to have to take a 15-second penalty on top of their 10-second penalty, which means with a 6-second difference between the times of Lucy Sinead and Lauren.
Oh, wow.
The winners of the 2025 World Championships doubles is Lauren Weeks.
Oh my God.
And Lauren Griffith,
The girls.
who now join us in studio with
Lily.
little Lily. JK.
Hi. Surprise.
Ladies, I have to know, obviously, with penalties deciding a race, were you aware of the early one when you got to the wall balls? Like, and now you're stood here as World Championships. Lauren, I can see you tearing up. Lauren, you're a world champion.
While we were running, I heard somebody screaming to us that they had multiple penalties, so I was aware. I'll be fully honest, like, we worked really hard, but I don't love a win that way. I don't love that, to be honest.
How did you guys feel out there? Like, obviously racing yesterday and then obviously Thursday. How did your bodies feel out there tonight?
Honestly, I haven't felt great all season.
Really?
So, like this was kind of like, I think I need to take some time for injuries and whatnot to heal, and having this just means a lot. And doing it with someone like Lauren means that much more, honestly.
Lauren, I'm so excited for you because I know how you felt after your individual race, and to come out with a performance like this, just in terms of confidence in yourself and your own ability, and especially after, I know the qualifiers was like the worst day of your life. You were so ill.
I at least didn't throw up in a chalk bucket that day, so that was my win. But yeah, the qualifying was pretty rough. But today it was great just having both of us push each other at different points. Like you know, I could kind of help early on in the race, and then when I started feeling it, I had Lauren right there, like, come on, let's go, and really pulling me on the runs. And it's so amazing having a team where you can do that in the doubles.
I mean, speaking of the team in general, the hybrid engine is such a big part, and you're all such a close group of individuals, whether that's you two on course or alongside Zara and Kate who are racing in the same thing. How do you all level each other up in that environment?
I wish we could all be really close together, to be honest. It's like so hard when they're across the globe, but I mean, we have group texts which are super helpful, like just to feel inspired by what somebody else is doing that day, and like, okay, they got it done, like I have to work just as hard as they did.
Yeah. What's the plan now, girls? Now, obviously, I myself, part of the hybrid engine, understand that there's no off season. There's no off season. What's the plan for the next couple of weeks?
Unfortunately for me, I tore the labrum in my left hip back in November, so I'm actually out for a few months.
Wow.
Just to recover. So for me, I get the unheard of off season for the hybrid engine.
That's
But
okay. That's okay.
for Lauren, what does it look like for you?
So I'm eyeing a couple obstacle course races in the near future. So I love competing. I'm gonna transition for a couple weeks, just into like a few other types of sport races.
Right.
Amazing stuff. And at what point is Lily taking over my job?
I know. Are you taking over?
I'm asking the same question. When she's gonna take over for me and run with Lauren?
Oh my gosh, what a story that would be. Mother and daughter out on course. Well, guys, I believe you have a gong. A gong to go and
collect. Congratulations, girls.
Congratulations. I think you can be so proud of this moment. This is absolutely lush in every way. What a way to close out the World Championships.
I had no idea you were commentating.
I know. Hello.
I can't wait.
I love the way JK just has a conversation to close
Bye,
out.
Lily.
Bye, Lily.
Congratulations. That is why I think there's some risk for those little 1%ers that are missed, right? Now, it's great. I'm just looking at Lily doing her thing, but
Yes, the first gong of Lily's. It's actually not the first gong of Lily's
No,
career.
it's not at all.
Probably she's had
It's
many
not
a
at all.
gong.
Yeah.
And when we finally got the confirmation, it was Lauren Weeks and Lauren Griffith who call themselves world champions. Never have I seen Lauren Griffith so emotional after a race. That was a huge one for her. Benton Procter in number 2, Viola Oberlander and Linda Meyer, your number 3.